So what if I told you that the strongest marriages don't necessarily come without conflict, but they actually have a lot of struggle built into the marriage?
I would have to agree with you 100%. Social media shows all the nice, glamorous things, right? So we're looking at date nights, flowers, nice trips, Birkin bags. I don't think anybody really discuss all the hardships that really go into marriage.
What do those hardships look like? Like, what's all the other stuff?
Kids. We're talking about kids, finances, career choices, kids with special needs. I know we have one. So it's a lot of different things that can go into that.
So, in other words, the real vows.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the Real Vows podcast. There you go. See?
That was good.
Yes, that's right. Welcome to the Real Vow podcast. I am your host, Jason Lawrence. This is my amazing, amazing wife.
Thank you, my love. This is Neosha Lawrence. Hi, how are you?
So, Neosha, beautiful queen, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, of course, I want to first introduce myself. My name is Neosha Lawrence. I am 1/4 member of the group Cherish. If you guys know the Do It To It record, that's what I'm probably best known for. I've been singing since I was a baby, since I was about 5 years old. We have much success with Cherish. I'm sure you know the songs Unappreciated, Do It To It. Anything that you can think of, all things Cherish, that is I.
And I got half of none of that. I'm just a regular Joe Blow. I'm your average guy, which I really think makes this unique dynamic.
Yes.
Because I kind of speak for the average Joe, and you're not a person who like really sits up on your high horse. But I think it does present some unique challenges to our marriage because identity is a big thing in marriage.
For sure.
And so, even having a finite identity, rebuilding an identity, being someone different than what you used to be, all plays into the psyche of how you approach marriage, how you approach life in general. So I think that's a good little thing to talk about. Absolutely. But yeah, me, I'm just Jason.
He's more than just Jason. He's just being modest. But however, he is the rock of our family. This man has supported me in everything from the beginning to the end, or not even really the end, just a different chapter.
There you go.
I'm really blessed to have this man in my life. So it's
how long has the beginning? Since the beginning's been how long?
Oh my gosh. We've been together for 24 years now?
24 years this year.
This year has been 24 years and 3 kids later, and here we are still going strong.
Yeah. Right. So 24 years, that's a long time. And I think that's one of the things that makes us a little bit unique.
I agree.
At my age, 43 years old, my wife is in her 40s, early 40s. I don't know about the whole women ton of age thing.
Young 40s.
Young 40.
I'm 41.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So it's all out there. Yeah, but we've been together 24 years. So at this point, it's over half our life.
Right.
So a lot of things that we see on social media, a lot of the ways people discuss about how their single lives go, we either can't relate or just flat out ignorant to how these things are. So we try to approach everything with a unique perspective, see things outside of our own lens, but also provide some really, I think, pertinent advice.
Yeah.
Because we've been in it so long. I mean, I think it's real.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I concur.
But how do we meet?
You to tell that story, you want me to tell that story.
You tell the story like she tells a story a way where it's from her perspective and she likes to jazz it up, but she won't tell the whole truth.
Well, I don't want to bore you guys too much, so I'll try to be as quick as possible and wrap it up. And then you can kind of interject wherever you see fit. Okay?
Let's do it.
So I actually met my husband through my sister's ex-boyfriend. We're going to call him. Okay. And Jason just so happened to come over that day. We were having like a Memorial Day party, I think it was. Yeah. And I just remember actually I told him that I prayed to find my husband very early. And this was the night before. Like this is no lies. This is raw and real. I prayed for my husband, and my husband literally showed up the next day with this gentleman who was a mutual friend. And I just remember seeing him. I'm like, oh my God, he is so incredibly gorgeous. And I was smitten, to say the word, I guess. After that, we just I told him, let's try to see how this goes. We started off as friends, really. It was nothing serious. And then we kind of developed into something serious, I guess, over a couple weeks' time, maybe a month or two. The short story is that here we are today. And that's a really short part of the story. I don't know if you want to add a little bit more detail, but you can.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
Okay.
Because while you were looking for your husband young, I wasn't looking for any of that.
Whatever.
I was not looking for you. I was not looking for you. The reason why that is because I was already in a relationship. And to be honest, when you're a teenager, relationships aren't what you consider real relationships. Short story is I was with somebody. I met my wife. I was taken with her, but the kind of guy I am, I don't dabble around. Like if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a committed relationship. That's just it. But to be honest, I was in that particular relationship because of it was convenience. I wasn't really in it because it was something I wanted to do. Flash forward 25 years, 24 years, 25 years.
Right.
Why are we doing this? Why are we uniquely qualified to have this conversation to these people?
Well, I think I've said to my husband multiple times that I don't feel like we're necessarily qualified. I mean, we just have an opinion and we have a lot of experience, 24 years of
24
experience
years,
to be exact. And we just really want to just share it. We want it to be a platform where we can talk. We can kind of hang out. You guys can actually email us, text message, whatever, shoot us some questions,
Absolutely.
some topics so that we can touch on some hot topics that I feel like some couples or some people are not really touching on. Want to bring some positivity to social media. It's a lot of, I don't want to say negative things, but there's a lot of platforms out there. And we kind of felt that having a marital platform is one that is kind of missing.
I think we're tapping into a niche that's probably fully developed, but it doesn't click or resonate as much as, like you said, the negativity.
Correct.
The side chick, baby daddy, just whole nonsense of single life is really what drives clicks and views. And I feel like what seem like healthy marriages don't get the same kind of burn as the clickbaity stuff. And I'm cool with that. Yeah. But I feel like there's definitely people, because there's going to be statistics about healthy marriages, people, especially black love, where you have a nuclear family, black male, black female find each other. It's not all about being 6 foot Birkin bags, $100,000 salary and all this other stuff.
That's all cool.
It's all good. If you got all that, it's cool.
Yeah.
But the tenets of marriage, I think, boil down to those real vows, which I adhere to religiously.
100%. And I do as well.
Without fail. So I think that's why it's important for us to have this conversation with other people. And just
for sure.
I also feel like this is a little bit of couples therapy for us.
Yes, it's couples therapy. And it's a little bit behind the scenes. I know a lot of people wanting to know, hey, what's going on with Cherish? What are they doing now? Like, so you'll get to see a couple of different platforms. I know my sisters are working on some stuff right now, so I'm excited to my sisters for that. But you'll get a little bit of some insight, into my personal life, our personal lives, and our lives with as far as marriage is concerned and kids.
So what's something out of the many things you wish people knew before they got married?
Well, I can only speak from my perspective, right? So I think that it's important that you paint a clear picture of what marriage could possibly look like for you and your situation, your spouse. For me, I don't think I've painted a clear picture of what that looks like. And it's not always the most glamorous. I think marriage is about giving. It's about constantly being submissive to each other in the marriage. It's about giving. It's about being patient. It's about forgiveness. Eventually the kids come along, and then that's a whole nother topic of how that interjects marriage and changes things. So for me, it was just more about just painting a clear picture. I think that people should really sit, have a conversation. And of course, we're big advocates of sitting with a counselor, sitting with a pastor, and really just try to have that conversation so that you can get a little bit more of a clear picture of understanding exactly what marriage or what it could possibly look like for you.
I'm glad you said that about sitting with people to talk. I think it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
So in my line of work, in engineering, it's not just you go out there and you just build a structure. You don't just erect structures and you do it on a whim. There's so much that before the structure starts being built, the pre-planning is really the longest phase.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? And it just depends on how the complexity, but essentially pre-planning is what takes so much time and effort. And that's the part that people really don't see. Right. Only thing you see is a big, beautiful architectural structure. Right. But you don't know the thousands of hours that go into pre-planning it. For sure. So to me, sitting with a pastor or a counselor is really the tip of the iceberg. What I feel like should happen is that before you get into a marriage, now I don't know like if I'm supposed to condone shacking and all this other stuff, right? And I also know the phrase about getting the milk for free, stop buying whole cow, right? But there are certain things that are husband privileges, certain things that are wife privileges.
For sure.
But I got to know what this is going to look like.
Right.
So some people know that if you're not good with money prior to the marriage, what makes you think a person is going to be good with money inside of the marriage?
Exactly.
If I'm secretive, if I don't respect boundaries about coming home and say, well, that's not my wife, am I going to flip a switch and all of a sudden be more respectful of the boundaries? Right. Social media, scrolling on your phone is a big one. We have that conversation all the time.
Yes, we do.
Right? Yeah. If I'm always on my phone in an appreciable manner, we can see I'm always on my phone. Why am I going to stop that just because I get married? Right. Now, am I giving you the prerequisite attention that you need? Am I giving you everything that you got to have? Right. If the answer is no prior to marriage, paint the picture. Yes. Am I going to give you that after because we put a ring on?
No.
Speaking of, where's my ring at?
I think
I got sunburn. I got sunburn and my ring was healing. Never mind that.
I think a lot of people expect your spouse to change. Now, it's normal if you ask me for, over a certain period of time, we go through change, in our marriages. But expecting your spouse to all of a sudden stop liking video games, stop working out as much. Well, I mean, he was working out 5 times a week when you met him. Why are you expecting him to do less? Now, of course, now that you're married, maybe he can't go 5 times a week. Maybe he's going 3 times a week. But to try to expect for somebody to give something up or change, so to speak, I think that's an unrealistic expectation. It's something I've done. I think that it's something maybe you've done less than me, but for me, I did expect a lot of different things to change. So I think that's for me.
What did you expect? You expected me to change?
No, I'm just saying, I expected, first of all, I think the change has probably come more from, how can I explain it?
You, a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From
Yeah.
my expectations.
Absolutely.
Because, there's things that you did or were doing that didn't bother me as much. And I think, like you game, right? But he doesn't game, a whole lot, but he games enough to bother me.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that we have kids, I'm like, I would expect for you to game less or almost none.
You would expect that. My thing is, I think the dynamic, this may get me in trouble, but men have a slow growth pattern in their life. Now, you have some ultra ambitious men.
Yeah.
A lot of times those men either are dead ass broke,
right,
or super successful. Then you have men who are content with getting a trade, going to school, getting married, having a job, raising kids, and it's slow growth.
Right.
Women are multipliers.
Right. We are.
Right. So you take my 2-bedroom apartment and you turn it into a 6-bedroom house.
Yeah, we turn.
You take my job doing something and you may turn it into a business. But we have to always constantly understand that you're always trying to multiply. But that multiply comes with changes.
Yes. 100%.
Right. So you're in a season where everything is go, go, go. And I might not be ready to go, go, go.
Right.
You're in a season where, hey, let's get in shape. We're getting older.
Right.
I'm like, hey, listen, I've been working my ass off for the last 5 years. Maybe I want to eat some Oreos every now and then.
And I'm like, put those Oreos down.
Put those Oreos down.
If you want to be here for your kids.
There's conflict.
Yeah.
Right. There's the struggle where we're always trying. Because do you think marriages are always aligned?
No, absolutely.
Are you more in alignment or out of alignment?
Out of alignment.
You're more out of alignment.
Yes. And I think you go through seasons, right? You go through seasons where you're completely aligned. You're like, oh my God, this is so blissful and we're just so in love. And yes, that never goes away, right?
On vacation.
Away from the
Always
kids.
Away from, on vacation.
Right? So there's those short.
Well, I'm away from my responsibility.
Right.
I don't got to sit at my desk.
Well, yeah, it's easy at that point,
right?
Right? Yeah, it's easy. But then you have the opposite, right? Where you're feeling like, I had this conversation with him, like, we need to get it together because I feel like you're here, I'm here, and I would like for us to meet somewhere between there. You know what I mean?
It's 2 ships passing in the night. So if you've ever been on a cruise, at nighttime, you can't see anything. Right? You see the lights of the ship you're on and moonlight, maybe nothing else. But imagine your spouse just being in the same ocean, different boat, just passing each other in the night. And you're right there, but you wouldn't even know it with each other.
So I think that this is a good transition right here in the conversation where we can ask ourselves, how do we find our way back to each other?
Choice.
Right?
100% choice.
Yeah. It is 100% a choice.
100% choice. I don't think there's any other caveat
to
that, because maybe choice or obligation. Because
a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both, and love. I mean, it's a combination of things of the reason why we choose to find our way back to each other, because it's so easy to get lost. I think that a lot of people are in it for the short term and not realizing that there's always going to be a problem in a relationship. I don't care. It's always going to be beautiful when you start out. You know what I mean? The grass is always going to be green, the flowers, the cakes, and all the extra stuff that you can think of that happens in a relationship. But then eventually when that fades away, what's left, right? The raw and the real start to take place. When the beautiful marriage that you spent $150,000 on a wedding for is done, then now it's just you and him. And those beautiful kids are just
everything fades.
Everything fades with time. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. So it's so incredibly important that you
choose.
And not just choose to love and be with each other. You have to choose the person that you choose matters. I think that's a huge conversation. You have to pick wisely on who your spouse, who are you going to do life with.
That's the most, to me, when the time comes and our kids are of age, more than what college they go to, more than what field of study they're going to go into, or whatever their career is going to be, the most important thing that they're going to do is be who they choose is going to be the most important choice they make. You're going to want to tell our son to navigate towards a woman with a certain moral standing.
Yes.
You're going to choose our daughters, to teach our daughters to choose a man who's going to navigate towards a certain
their father.
standing.
That's the standard for me.
That's the plan. So while we are on pretty much hammering the fact that choice is the maybe number one factor, what do you say to people who stay together out of obligation? A child, or they have properties, they have business that they feel like they can't separate. They're with each other purely out of obligation. They may love each other, but they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Like, how do you navigate that?
I'm
sorry, because we don't weaponize the D word. We don't say divorce. Right.
Correct.
But
it exists.
What's there?
It exists. So marriage out of obligation, yes, it's a choice. I'm not a huge advocate for it. I understand that people have certain arrangements, and it's up to you. Whatever fits, whatever works for your marriage. So I can't say for me that would
define works.
I'm not a huge advocate for marrying or staying married out of convenience or obligations. A huge factor for me is because I always tell you the one thing that's going to fluctuate in your marriage the most is, well, two things: finances and health, right? Those are the two things that you never know. You could be in a season where you go through health problems and your husband loses his job, right?
Especially at our age.
You could lose a business, right? There's so many different things that could cause you to lose everything. And we always say we're always one heartbeat away from your whole life changing, right? So for me, if that's it can't be the only reason. Should it be one of the reasons why you're married? I can say reason. I think I'm using the wrong word.
I don't think just being obligated to a person is reason enough to stay married.
Right.
But I want to throw this at you.
Yeah, sure.
Because of our age and because of how long we've been together.
Yeah.
And the reason why I keep harping on age is because as you acquire life,
yes,
money, children, businesses, friendships, relationships, you add layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer of things. And you're going to probably delve more into this in later episodes.
Yeah.
But imagine, our daughter's a gymnast, right? So imagine we split up and I move away to a place where she's far away from her gymnastics gym.
Yes.
I'm impacting her life.
For sure.
Imagine I move them to a place where the school's not an A-rated system.
Right.
I'm impacting their life.
Yes.
So now you're thinking, well, I don't want to stay together with you because I'm obligated to.
Right.
But
it's what's best for the
best for the child.
Well, that runs out eventually. And that's where I think that's why I don't completely agree. That runs out eventually because the kids are going to grow up. They're going to move out. And then I always tell him, I'm like, what does our relationship look like when our kids move out? Because we always think, oh, our kids are going to be here forever. Well, it seems that way in the moment, but in actuality, those kids are going to grow, they're going to move out, and then it's going to be just you and the person that you like or dislike. And it's just y'all two.
You're also sacrificing years.
Yes, time. Youth, ladies.
Waiting for that obligation to run out.
Because the truth of the matter is, let's talk about that part, right? Where if we didn't work out, God forbid, you can go find somebody that's 20-something years old. You know what I mean? And you could be 50 and you can find somebody that's 20-something years old. It is not the same for us women. I'm not saying that, we get up in age and then all of our value depreciates, but to a certain extent. So once the kids have gone and they leave the nest, it's just you and your spouse. So it's important that, yes, you're wasting time trying to make things work for the betterment of the kids. But that can't be the only reason because, like I said, as they get older, they leave, and then it's just the person that you chose. So I'm a big, huge component of whoever you choose. You gotta like them. You gotta love them. You gotta like them, and then when they're fat, skinny, broke, rich. When we say our vows, right? It's forever, and it's supposed to be. Through debt till death do us part. It's supposed to be we're rich or poor, in sickness and in health. The vows, what we say.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, and I think I agree with that. The vows take precedent over everything else. Now, if that's the case, though, if the vows take precedent over everything else, it means, like you said, you're obligated to that person.
But that's why it's important who you choose from the beginning, right?
There you go.
So you take it back to the drawing board, and I'm not saying people don't make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying people don't change, because people do. But it's so incredibly important. I can't hammer the fact enough that who you choose, your forever person, that's a big, huge choice. So make the right decision if you can. And like we went back to the beginning of our conversation, saying that have that conversation with married couples. We're actually having this conversation with you right now, right, while you're possibly talking about getting married. You know what I mean? We're having this conversation and sharing it. So listen to a platform, listen to a podcast, talk to a counselor, talk to a pastor, talk to a friend who's been married longer. There's always someone that you can turn to who has a little bit more experience in dating and relationships and marriage, divorces. The conversations are there to be had. You just have to just source it out and kind of figure out who you want to talk to.
I mean, there needs to be a plan. Like, write yourself a however long until your marriage, from your time your engagement until your marriage. If you got a 6 months time period, write yourself a 6-month plan.
You could do a pros and cons.
A pros and cons. Like, hey, before we enter this, if I get fat, what are you going to do about it? If I lose my job, how are you going to feel about that?
Right.
Listen, if my mom dies, I'm in depression for 4 months, are you going to support me? Right. Take all the cons that you can think of and flesh those out, because they're going to happen.
They're going to happen.
They're going, like, without fail, they're going to happen.
100%.
Right. We had to pick up and move from our family. My father passed away. We got child with special needs. We had kids back to back that we didn't anticipate. Like, there are so many things that happened to us.
Yes.
I mean, a roller coaster of things, and we never talked about it.
No.
But I think, so this is the advice we're telling you guys to talk about it. But I think those vows and our love for each other is what ultimately helped us navigate those storms. And, you know, I'm here for the long run, and it's not just because of the vows.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, as long as you keep me happy.
I hope not. Saying that's the thing. Happiness, that's going to be the topic for the next one.
I know, you always say it's fleeting.
It's fleeting, and I feel like people choose happiness too much over duty.
That's another podcast.
Duty over happiness.
We'll get to that one.
Okay, all right.
That sounds good.
So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, ask yourself those questions.
Yes.
Communicate with your spouse. Communication, that's going to be another topic down the road.
Absolutely.
But I think this is a healthy challenge for all two of you listening to this right now. Take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And fellas, this is going to be probably more difficult for you, because we feel like women are always talking. If we're being honest.
And we do.
All right. Occasionally, right? But tune in. Like, put the phones down, put the game down, tell your homies, like, you know, you'll get with them a little bit later. If you can isolate your kids, if you have them, set them aside. Take 15 solid minutes or so and ask your spouse, men and women, if you have something that you want to say, a difficult conversation, a hard question that you want to ask, take the time to ask that question.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. Take the time to ask that question. I have a question for you before we get out of here.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm ready.
And I think we're going to have two different ways to approach the question.
All right.
Give me a fear that you've never communicated with me in our marriage.
One that I've never communicated? Well, that's just the thing. We communicate so well.
We do.
I'm going to try to think
I got one I haven't told you.
Okay, good. I'm going to try to think of, well, then you shoot, and I'm going to think about mine.
No, I want you to go first. Because the reason why I want you to go first, because I think you're going to see I versus we difference in the way we communicate the fear.
Okay. I fear that one day I'm just not going to do it for you. Like, I'm not going to be as attractive. You're not going to look at me the same one day, the way that you always have.
Okay.
So I think that's one fear maybe I haven't shared. All the other fears I think that you're pretty well.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
All right. So to that end, you know, this is such a cop-out answer, but you're always going to be beautiful to me.
No, thank you.
Like, you will always be beautiful to me.
And
your beauty no longer lies in your physical look. And now that kind of sucks, because as a woman, you still, as much as women have grown and they got their independence, there's still a small part of women who want to be objectified.
Of course, we all do.
You want to be chosen. This is such a dynamic or contrast to how we feel about our fears, right?
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, there's fears that I shared that are including you, but this is a personal fear, right? So your fear was about not doing it for me.
Yes.
And I'm telling you how you're going to be forever beautiful. Your beauty is not tied to how you look.
Thank you.
It's everything else, your intrinsic value. Even though I still pedestalize you, I still objectify you.
Well, that's good to know.
Right.
I'm going to keep
but
that.
My fear is that I'm no longer one day I'm no longer going to be able to be the man you need me to be.
Aww.
It's a selfish fear, right? if I get sick or I can't provide or, a certain way where I'm no longer around for whatever reason, my fear is I'm leaving you on stuff. I'm leaving the
Well,
kids. Like I'm no longer here to protect, provide, and all this other stuff that we spew out of our mouth about what men are supposed to do anymore.
and that's a healthy fear. I'm sure that some of the viewers are going through that right now, right? Where you have a spouse who may be sick or going through a serious condition or situation. And
Finances, anything.
and what I think they would agree with what I'm going to say is that you figure it out. I don't, and neither would us, anyone who is married to someone right now, look at their spouse as lesser than, right? If anything, you look stronger to me because you're fighting something that you can't help, right? In addition to that, it is going to help challenge me to step up and do more for you, do more for my family. But that's my job. That's my obligation to you. That is my want. That's my love. It's not. It's like breathing air. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Caring for your spouse when they're sick or they're down, I think anybody would agree, is second nature. So I don't want you to ever fear that. Oh my God, forbid something happened to me. I'm less of a man. That's not. That's the furthest from the truth. I'm now stepping up to the plate. God, He gave it, so obviously He knew that I can handle the situation. So I don't think you should ever feel that way.
That's the real vows.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to tear up.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good, Mama.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
got
the
a little
real vows.
emotional,
That's
but I'm
okay.
good.
It's all right. Yeah, that's week 1. Remember, your homework is to have that conversation with your spouse.
Yes.
Something that you've never told them that you think is going to be a tough call, and
Put the phones down.
put the phones down for a
short
minute.
period of
Listen,
time.
I'm bad at it, so
Yeah. We're working on him.
I'm still working on it.
For sure.
But wherever this is, wherever you're listening to this, if you're on Apple, Spotify,
Spotify.
Amazon Music, obviously I think there's a comment section, but
Yes.
subscribe to us and let us know.
I would like to add.
Yeah.
We want to know what questions you have for us or hot topics. You know, we're still very new at this. We're trying to get, some chatter and trying to figure out the topics of conversation. So shoot us an email. I'm going to make sure that I put our email links, our Instagrams and everything up there for you guys to reach out to us. Tell us what you feel. And we're always open to the suggestions and topics. Yep. Just want to add that.
All right.
Okay. All right. Until next week.